Hi, I'm Jørgensen. I'm Rector of St Botolph's Aldgate, and getting used to these strange times of lockdown with the coronavirus, meaning our church building is shut, but we as a church are definitely open. This is not going to be the slickest of videos you're going to see, but it's heartfelt nonetheless. Instead of keeping Holy Week in church, we're going to keep it in our own way at home. What struck me in the Sunday morning Zoom services we've been having is that although our doors are shut, our church community is alive and active in reaching out to each other and to the community. The services are, of course, important, but no less important is the time spent afterwards catching up with each other's weeks. We're each facing different challenges during lockdown. We think particularly of those who work for the NHS and key workers, those valuable, previously overlooked people who keep us fed and ensure our services are running smoothly, who are going out every day to work in these uncertain times. We think of those who live on their own and the challenges of loneliness and isolation. We think of those with children and the difficult and different challenges that they face. For example, I'm hiding out for 5 minutes and having given my children a task that hopefully will complete the time of this video. Each of our own situations brings its difficulties. One thing that's really struck me is that we each respond to trauma, and that's what this period of time is, in different ways, and that our response might change from day to day. We're finding a new normal, whatever that might be, in lives filled with uncertainty. It can be exhausting, and we will all be reacting in different ways, and there's no right or wrong to any of this. Normally on Maundy Thursday evening, we'd gather in church to share the Eucharist together, to wash each other's feet, then to watch at the altar of repose, as the disciples watched with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. It's painful that we can't do that this year. But this year, perhaps we get a deeper insight into the emotions of the disciples. Jesus is preparing the disciples for a change. In his deep love, he is caring for them and bringing them to understanding that he will not be with them for much longer. The disciples must have known the danger that they were facing and the danger that Jesus was facing. They must have been in despair. Having loved his own, Jesus loved them to the end. He showed his love by the physical act of washing their feet and a shared meal. He told them that as he loved, so they should also love. We are assured that we are loved. In the face of uncertainty, we are loved. In the face of fear, we are loved. In the face of death, we are loved. This is the assurance Christ gave to his disciples at his last meal before his arrest, his trial and his crucifixion. And as Jesus loved, so we are called to love. And for many of us, not being able to be in physical proximity to those we love is really hard. It's wonderful that so many people are offering themselves as volunteers. That's a way to show love. Staying at home to protect others, that's also a way to show love. Ultimately, this crisis has shown us that the human capacity to love is undimmed. And in Holy Week, we remember the divine love which pours out on all humankind. Jesus says to his disciples, to his friends, to us, "I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another."